overnight, accusing the Assad regime of preparing for another chemical attack, saying that if Syria strikes, they'll pay a heavy price.
The GOP's health care bill on life support after that major report, saying 22 million more people will lose insurance under the plan. At least 5 senators now saying they'll oppose a key vote that could come today.
I won't vote to proceed to it unless the bill changes.
Can President Trump win enough support?
Onboard emergency. A mother fears for her infant's life, struck nearly 2 hours on a plane on the tarmac during a heat wave. She says her 4-month-old grew dangerously hot.
Return to gauge, shortness of breath.
The family begged for an ambulance. We have all the fallout this morning.
And superstar showdown. Serena Williams firing back at John McEnroe after the tennis legend made this comment.
If she played the men's circuit, she'd be like 700 in the world.
The queen of the court serving up a response, asking for respect this morning.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And good morning, America. We have a lot going on this Tuesday morning. Let's go straight to the White House. Last night, unusually, the White House put out a late-night warning to Syria and the Assad regime about their chemical weapons. The president expected to meet with his national security advisor today.
The White House saying Syria's president is potentially preparing another chemical attack on his own people and warning there will be serious consequences if they do. We want to get right to our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, for the latest details. Good morning, Cecilia.
Robin, good morning to you. This is a very stern, very public warning that came overnight from here at the White House. They say that the U.S. has identified what it calls potential preparations for another chemical weapons attack by the Assad regime. They say this would lead to the mass murder of civilians, including innocent children. The White House says that it is now seeing similar activity to what prompted that U.S.-led airstrike on that air base back in April. This is the new warning from the White House right now. Take a listen. Quote, if Mr. Assad conducts another mass murder attack using chemical weapons, he and his military will pay a heavy price. Now, this is, as George said, a very unusual statement in that it comes from Press Secretary Sean Spicer. This is not coming from the Pentagon. This is not coming from the president himself. And Robin, we are told that high-level administration officials were caught completely off guard by this attack overnight, by this statement overnight.
But already the international response has been swift. What are you hearing, Cecilia?
Robin, the UK has weighed in already, saying that it fully supports any U.S. retaliation for a chemical weapons strike in Syria. The Kremlin, on the other hand, completely different reaction. It says that it does not know what is the basis for this statement that came out overnight from the White House, and that it, quote, categorically disagrees with the U.S. description of another potential chemical weapons attack in Syria. Robin.
Details continuing to come in. Cecilia, thank you.
Okay, let's get more on this now from our military analyst, Stephen Gagnon, and our newest senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell. Let's start with you, Ian. You spent many years in Syria. You know the Assad regime well. We don't know the intelligence behind this warning from the White House, but we do know Assad has done this before.
We do know that he's done it dozens of times before, according to many analysts. Why does he do it? Well, Assad has consistently defied conventional logic. I mean, applying the kind of analysis that would say, well, why would he do it? Because President Trump has striked the Syrian regime before. Why would he do it again? Firstly, because of the psychological impacts that these weapons have, and secondly, because he can. There's only been one response in the past, and that response was effectively limited. That airbase that they struck was back in action within hours.
Right away. The big question right now, obviously, is a statement like that designed to deter Assad. Will it work?
That's a very good question. I mean, if people believe that President Trump will respond again and will have to ratchet up that response, then you've got to conclude that Assad will have to pause, will have to think about whether he will go through with that threat.
Okay, let's talk about the possible response now from Stephen Gagnon in Tokyo this morning. And Steve, last time we saw a relatively limited strike, as Ian was saying. If the White House were forced to strike again, would it have to expand?
George, it's just going to depend on the message that President Trump wants to send. He could keep it very limited. Remember last time we saw they just hit aircraft in revetments. But if he doesn't believe that Assad's getting the message, he could expand the target set. It could include things like military headquarters, the presidential palace, or even Assad himself.
The more you expand the target set, the more you run the risk of a possible conflict with Russia as well, though.
That's true. So we've used cruise missiles in the past because it doesn't put U.S. crews at risk. But the Russians have a very sophisticated surface-to-air missile system in Syria that could conceivably knock down U.S. cruise missiles. If that happens, excuse me, it risks a direct U.S.-Russian military confrontation.
Okay, Stephen Gaynor, Ian Panel, thanks very much.
And George, meanwhile, the Senate healthcare showdown underway in Washington. At this hour, Republicans are far short of the votes they need to pass the bill before the July 4th recess. Vice President Pence is hosting a dinner tonight with undecided Republican senators trying to convince them to get on board. And that CBO report projecting 22 million more uninsured Americans over the next decade is not making the job any easier. Our congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, is tracking all the latest on Capitol Hill for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, the closer Republicans get to their own deadline, the more votes they seem to be losing. Coverage for 22 million Americans is potentially on the line here, and this morning it is unclear if Republicans are going to pull this off. This morning, the Senate Republican health care bill is teetering on the edge. What's your message to your colleagues who still are not on board?
This is the art of the possible, the art of getting 50 votes.
Do you think you're going to get to yes?
I'm trying to get the yes.
But getting those yes votes seems to be getting harder. Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes. But this morning, 6 say they cannot support the bill. And at least 5 suggest they'll vote against even debating the bill.
I won't vote to proceed to it unless the bill changes.
The latest no vote, Senator Susan Collins of Maine, coming out against the bill after learning how many Americans could lose their coverage.
How you put all this together and get to 50 is going to be very tough, and the CBO score doesn't help any. If you had problems with the bill before, you probably got more problems now.
According to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, the Senate bill could leave 22 million more Americans uninsured over the next decade, 15 million more uninsured next year alone. Put into practice, many young people could see their premiums fall, but a 64-year-old making roughly $57,000 a year could see their annual premium rise by nearly $14,000.
Obviously, it's not good news.
Some Republicans are likely to tout the drop in the deficit, down $321 billion by 2026. But others say the Budget Office is a poor predictor.
The CBO report is an accounting exercise. It's based on assumptions. It makes an assumption that I think is flawed.
But the Budget Office report card now has Democrats saying, "We told you so."
This CBO report should be the end of the road for Trump care. Republicans would be wise to read it like a giant stop sign.
Now, many Republicans I've talked with are asking, what's the rush? Why not wait a few more days or weeks to make some additional changes here? But, Robin, Republican leaders so far are showing no signs of changing course here.
So what's the sign? Still going to try to get the vote before the recess?
Yet Republican leaders insist they want to get a vote done this week. But, Robin, if they can't change some minds here and fast, they may not even have enough votes to bring this to the floor. And if they don't, if they're not able to get this done this week, well, President Trump has suggested that perhaps it's time to just let Obamacare crash and burn.
Stay tuned. All right, Mary, thank you.
Let's get more from the White House now from John Carl, our chief White House correspondent. You know, the president laid out one of Plan B's right there, but he's still working pretty hard to try to get this through the Senate right now. I know he's been talking to senators, especially senators like Rand Paul, but what can he offer them?
Well, the president's been making calls yesterday, although he had a big working dinner with the Prime Minister of India, so much of the heavy lifting has been done by the vice president. It's unclear what kind of changes they can really offer, and right now, George, it is going in the wrong direction for the White House. The bottom line is they do not have the votes right now, and there is no clear path to get the votes.
No clear path, because you've got to satisfy both conservatives and moderates with very different sets of concerns. Where do they see more opportunity?
Well, the president's been working with the conservatives more. That's why he's been talking to Rand Paul. He's probably talked to Rand Paul more than any other senator, and yet when you talk to those working this issue for the Republicans, they see Rand Paul as perhaps the least likely to ultimately vote for this bill. So, again, no clear path, because the more you do to please somebody like Rand Paul, the more you alienate somebody like Susan Collins.
And Mary reported on that tweet by the president, maybe Obamacare will just crash and burn if this doesn't go through. But is there any kind of serious Plan B in the White House?
I detect absolutely no Plan B from the White House. I have asked that question specifically of top officials. I see no plan B. And as for Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, it seems that their plan B, if this goes down, is simply to move on to another issue. They want to get on to taxes.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much.
All right, George, now to that major Supreme Court ruling on President Trump's travel ban, allowing it to partially go into effect for 6 predominantly Muslim countries. When the ban was originally announced in January, you know, it triggered chaos and protests at airports nationwide. ABC's Terry Moran is at the Supreme Court with a closer look at this ruling. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Robin. President Trump's travel ban, one of his signature policies, one of the most controversial and very troubled in the courts. He's declaring victory now because of this ruling. The Supreme Court will hear arguments on this travel ban next fall, and in the meantime, they're allowing a watered-down version of this ban to go into effect.
A partial victory for President Trump.
How do you feel about the Supreme Court ruling today, Mr. President?
Very good, thank you. Very good. The Supreme Court ruling that some of the president's controversial travel ban will go into effect and some will not.
This strikes me as a compromise solution that hands both sides something of what they wanted, but doesn't give anybody a clean victory.
The president's executive order blocked travel to the U.S. from 6 predominantly Muslim countries for 90 days. And while the court's ruling allows that ban to go into effect, the justices narrowed it, declaring that the government cannot ban people if they have a bona fide relationship with a person or entity in the United States. The court saying that includes family members of U.S. residents, students admitted to American universities, workers accepting a job offer in the U.S., and more.
The president was honored by the 9-0 decision that allows him to use an important tool to protect our nation's homeland.
The administration's initial travel ban, issued in January, created chaos at the nation's airports. Then courts stepped in to block the ban, but for now, some of the president's order will go into effect.
Administration officials are already working hard on figuring out who is and who is not covered under this court's ruling. It should go into effect 72 hours from when the court handed it down. Robin?
And Terry, who is likely to be most impacted by the ruling?
Well, that is the question. In the end, lawyers who are working these cases tell us a relatively small number of people are going to get banned. That's because most people trying to get into the U.S. from these countries already have the kinds of relationships, family relationships, admissions to universities that the court says exempt them from the ban. In the end, it'll probably be tourists from these 6 countries. There aren't many of those. And the poorest and most desperate of refugees with no U.S. connections who will get banned. Robin?
Terry, thank you.
Okay, we want to go to Ginger now. She's got more on those wildfires in the West. Hey, Ginger.
Hey there, George. I have to tell you, such a wet spring created a lot of foliage in a lot of places in the West, but then you dry it out and this happens. This is the Manzanita fire east of Los Angeles by about 80 miles. And this thing is 5,000 acres. They got so many folks working on it, but that's tiny compared to what's happening in southern Utah. This is the Brian Head fire, a time lapse of the smoke there. That's 46,000 acres now, 1,400 fire personnel working. There are 21 large fires from Oregon to Texas burning across the West. And I wish I had better news, but that front sagging through, shifting winds, and you guys, that's going to mean 30 to 50 mile per hour winds, less than 10% humidity, red flag warnings all over. Robin?
All right, Ginger, thanks so much. Now to a medical alert for parents. A startling new study this morning shows parents give their children the wrong dose of medicine more than 80% of the time. Dr. Jennifer Ashen is here with us. Now we've had reports about this before. What makes this study different?
So we know the problem, dosing errors. This study really was about the solutions. They looked at 3 different interventions here. They used something called pictograms, which is basically a picture of what the right dose looked like. They used text instructions saying mLs only versus mLs per teaspoon. And then they used dosing instruments like syringes with lines on them. They found very high rate of errors. As you said, about 80% of parents and caregivers made some type of error. About 30% made a large error, almost 2 times the recommended dose. All 3 of these interventions helped. That's the good news. The one with the dosing tool seemed to help the most. But this study really about strategy moving forward so we can reduce these risks because they can be serious.
So what is your suggestion?
Ask, ask. If you are a caregiver and you are giving a child medication, ask the pharmacist, the pediatrician, the healthcare provider, and you want to not just ask how much should I be giving and what does that look like? But what do I do if the child spits up the medication? It happens all the time.
Right.
And that really depends on what the medication is, why they're being given that medication, and how much. So ask the questions. It's so important.
Good information there, especially about spitting up, because that's what I
It
hear from parents a
happens.
lot. And they wonder.
You've seen it with your nieces and nephews, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
All right, Jen, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Guys, we're going to turn now to that tennis showdown. Serena Williams has fired back at John McEnroe after his backhanded compliment about how she would do on the men's tour. Paula Ferris here with that story. Hey, Paula.
Yeah, backhanded indeed, George. Good morning to you. You know, Serena Williams is busy growing her baby. She's due in the fall, and she's basically telling John McEnroe, don't bring me into this. But she also admitted several years ago in an interview that men's tennis and women's tennis are two different sports. The men are a lot faster, and they serve much harder.
Overnight, Serena Williams serving up a fiery response to tennis great John McEnroe for these comments.
Let's talk about Serena Williams. You say she is the best female player in the world in the book.
Best female player ever, no question.
Why qualify it?
If she played the men's circuit, she'd be like 700 in the world.
Williams tweeting at the former tennis star, "Dear John, I adore and respect you, but please, please keep me out of your statements that are not factually based. Respect me and my privacy as I'm trying to have a baby." Good day, sir. The tennis legend has long debated where she ranks among the tennis greats. Recently, in this sit-down interview with rapper-actor Common.
If I were a man, I would have 100% been considered the greatest ever long time ago.
But in 2013, Serena acknowledged that there are differences between men's and women's tennis, calling the games almost two separate sports.
The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game.
But the queen of the court has made a career smashing records, winning 23 Grand Slam titles. Just last January,
23-time Grand Slam champion Serena Williams
beating her sister Venus to win the Australian Open and set the Grand Slam titles record, all while she was approximately 8 weeks pregnant. And Nike recently naming her the greatest athlete ever.
She is indeed superwoman and going to be a super mother. But back to McEnroe, you know, this all happened during an interview with NPR Sunday morning. And McEnroe was asked about people wanting him to play Serena Williams, a la a battle of the sexes like we saw between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs back in the 70s. He says, you guys, he's thought about it. He can still play. But these days, at 58 years old, he says not even his kids think that he could beat Serena. So
what does he think?
He doesn't think he could either at this point,
really?
58. But you know, he can still play, but 58 years old.
I have to say, I thought Serena's tweet was a drop the mic moment.
It is.
It's like, yeah.
She doesn't need to say anything else after that. She's like, let me grow my baby. And again, she's due in the fall. So best of luck to you, Serena.
That's it. Let's go back down to Ginger with severe weather in the plains.
Yes, and let's start in western Kansas. You can see Scott City, Kansas. This is the time lapse that shows that thunderstorm trying to develop, trying to rotate a little. My favorite part is you can see the scud clouds, those little junk clouds at the bottom. That's energy getting sucked up into the atmosphere. So that tells you things are growing and moving there. That's what's going to happen for parts of the plains today. You have the damaging wind threat, still a tornado threat, and large hail for sure in parts of Nebraska, Kansas, and South Dakota. That threat moves east, though, into more populated regions, including Des Moines, Iowa, as we go into the rest of our week. Your local weather in 30 seconds, though. First, the Tuesday trivia brought to you by CarMax.
Turns out things aren't always what you think they are. Take guinea pigs. They're not pigs at all, nor are they from Guinea. Or take this haircut. I may look all business, but look out! There's a party going on back here. Kind of misleading, isn't it? Well, at CarMax, you don't have to worry about being misled. The price online is the same price in the store, which is the same for everyone, even guinea pigs. It's only fair, Mr. Biscuits. Only fair.
Expect a mixture of clouds and sunshine today, and don't be surprised if there's a little sprinkle or passing light shower. Highs today will only get into the upper 70s, so we're going to stay under the 80-degree mark, some 10 degrees below average for today. Then say hello to the summer heat and humidity again. Look at the heat index value by 4th of July. Tuesday going up to around 100 degrees and even close to that on Monday. And that also means the possibility of some scattered showers and storms. Saturday, isolated on Sunday.
You want a forecast for both of you? I know I feel so far away. We'll just do this.
Okay, all right. Forecast coming up.
Don't let go.
Okay, don't let go. Coming up, that terrifying moment on the tarmac, a mother saying she feared for her infant's life, waiting nearly 2 hours for help while he grew dangerously hot. What took so long? We'll get to that. Come on back.
Sarah is a 5th grade teacher. When it comes to molding young minds, nobody does it better. She also builds her own fighting robots. Destroy. But when it comes